Hi, happy holidays, and welcome to Amiga Video Magazine. Tonight we're going back to the AMI Expo in Anaheim, California to take a look at Oxy Aegis's new Audio Master. We'll also have a look at the Senfax from Applied Engineering. Dakota Corporation has a new drawing board, and Pelican Software enters the Amiga market with a brand new program. And we'll be going to Europe with Don Hicks, who will be reporting to us from Germany about Amiga 90. So I'll be doing a little world traveling myself with Disney's software game, Disney DuckTales, The Quest for Gold. But to get us kicked off, why don't we go to Rebecca Rhodes, who has all the latest Amiga news.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Amiga News. Our top story this month, what's been happening at Commodore? The most noticeable recent activity at Commodore seems to be the departure of 4 major executives from the Commodore ranks. The exiting executives are Vice President of Marketing C. Lloyd Mahaffey, Director of Marketing Communications and Consumer Marketing Tom Kilcoyne, Director of Product Marketing Walt Simpson, and Amiga Products Manager Keith Misavage. Aside from C. Lloyd Mahaffey, who is leaving for personal reasons, Commodore has no official statement as to the mass departure of the other executives. Midwest Communications Corporation, the nation's largest distributor of professional video products, has reached an agreement with NewTek to sell the video toaster in all their locations. Vice President of Marketing Brad Nogar says Midwest is offering the video toaster as well as the full line of Amiga computers and a variety of integrated system solutions. For those who have not heard, the video toaster is a card that fits into the video slot of the A2000 and allows the user to produce videos that have the effects and graphics of network television. After 4 years of rumors and development, the video toaster is now available in quantity at a list price of $1,595. New from ICD, a low-cost accelerator that doubles the speed of all 6800-based Amigas. AddSpeed is a 14.3 megahertz 6800 accelerator which uses 32K of high-speed static RAM, 16K of data instruction cache, and 16K of cache tag memory. To install, simply replace the existing CPU with AddSpeed. AddSpeed sells for around $350. Also from ICD, Flicker-Free Video, a board which delivers a high-quality display free of interlaced flicker and visible scan lines. Flicker-Free Video is designed for all A500s, 1000s, and 2000s. Installation is simple, and it does not occupy the video slot of the Amiga, leaving it free for other uses. Flicker-Free Video comes with a 1-year warranty and lists for just under $500. Do you hate the tedious job of backing up hard drives to floppies? You may want to consider Byte & Back, hard drive backup utility from Spirit Technology. Storing 935K per disk in only 50 seconds, Byte & Back has a user-friendly asynchronous scan mode and a drag-by-group file selector. This time saver sells for $49. If rumors are true, the makers and purchasers of Mac emulators may soon be in trouble. The word is that Mac is no longer making their individual Mac ROMs available for sale. Mac emulators are sold with the Mac ROMs not included, and they're necessary for the hardware's operation. It appears as though Mac is desperately trying to maintain its position in the marketplace. Perhaps they see the writing on the wall. New in software, New Horizons introduces Graphic Designer, a structured drawing program for the Amiga. Structured drawing is object-oriented. Rather than treating a graphic element as a gathering of screen pixels as in a paint program, the elements are treated as independent objects that can be modified and arranged. New Horizons calls Graphic Designer a cross between a CAD program and an illustration program and expects it to do very well in the school systems. It will be available in the first quarter of 1991 and will sell for around $125. That's all for Amiga News this month. I'm Rebecca Rhodes, wishing you and yours a very happy and healthy holiday season.
Call Brewall for all your Amiga software and hardware needs. 1-800-638-5757. We have hundreds of Amiga hard drive and memory systems, along with a complete line of GVP products. Brewall offers in-house technical support and a fair return exchange policy. At Brewall, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call today for your free copy of our new catalog. 1-800-638-5757. Can you imagine it? 67,000 people at an Amiga show? 67,000 people. Well, that's exactly what happened in Germany at Amiga 90. Don Hicks, the editor of Amazing Computing for the Amiga, has this to report.
Hi, my name is Don Hicks, and right behind me is the Cologne Messe. The Cologne Messe is the biggest show all year for the Commodore Amiga, right here in Cologne, Germany. We're going to that show right now. We're going to take you there, but be prepared. We're going at warp speed.
Amiga 90 in Cologne, Germany maintained its predominance as the world's largest show for the Commodore Amiga, with over 150 exhibitors in 2 large exhibition halls. Presenting new and exciting products to the European Amiga market, Amiga 90 was able to attract over 60,000 attendees in 4 days, from November 8th to November 11th. Although Amiga 90 is predominantly a German showcase for new Amiga products, the number of North American companies who attended the Amiga 90 was amazing. Companies such as Gold Disc and Pulsar, as well as others, are now broadening their consumer base with offices in Europe and were well represented. It was encouraging to see other companies either exhibiting on their own or with their German distributors. Great Valley Products, NewTek, Interactive Video Systems, Digital Creations, Blue Ribbon Soundworks, ICD, Super Corporation, Oxy Aegis, Applied Engineering, IDG Communications, VidTech, Memory World, and Dr. T's were just a few of the companies represented. Amiga 90 was an interesting and exciting event which not only attracted a great many attendees, but inspired a good number of Amiga developers. Amiga 90 helped to further establish the Amiga as a truly multinational computer platform. For Amiga Video Magazine, this is Don Hicks from Amazing Computing.
Thanks, Don. If you want any more details about Amiga 90, we suggest you pick up Amazing Computing for the Amiga, 1991, January. It seems like every time you turn around, Oxy Aegis has a new program on the market, doesn't it? Well, here's a new one. Oxy Aegis has also entered in the audio aspect of the Amiga. Now, what is Audio Master 3?
Well, Audio Master 3 is the first sound sampling package for the Amiga that allows sequencing, which means you can take, for example, a 20-second sound sample and turn it into like a 2.5-hour song, because you can have 999 discrete loop points within a sample.
Now, you've mentioned something at the press conference yesterday about changing something from 8 megs to 2 megs. Do I have the numbers right?
Yeah, what I did, in fact, the song you're hearing in the background here was originally sampled. It took up 8 megs, and using Audio Master's sequencing, it's cut down to 2 megs, and has the same material. It's identical to the original sample.
Let's take a look at this and see how it works.
All you have to do to make a sequence sample is grab your original sample, which can be up to as much memory as you have. As I was saying, one of my songs I did was 8 megs. And then you go through and you find all the repeat points. Now, many songs are just repetitive, you know, the same thing over and over. And so if you have a song like that, it makes the whole job easier, because you grab the branch once and then just copy and paste it. So if we were to take this song and be doing it from scratch, what we would do is simply find our loop point. Okay, now that's where in the song it repeats and loops back. What we would do then is grab that range and tell it to show range. Now what we have is exactly the area we know the end of our loop is. So we can try this again. We can show range and play display, and we see the piece we have. Now we can go ahead and take this marker and move it to anywhere we want this to loop. Generally, you want it to be as clean as possible, so you keep going in closer and closer until you find exactly where you want to be. It's kind of cryptic at times, but it's not that difficult, really. So once you make your loop, you just say add, and you've got one more loop created. This loop, you then go and you set wherever you want. I'm losing my voice because of the show, folks. You set the next loop wherever you want, and again, you would zoom in and make it real neat and all that, and keep adding and adding. And if you decide that one of them is in the wrong place, you can go back down to it and say delete, and it'll remove it from the list. You know, you can set a repeat on one sample or at the end of a loop or whatever. Let's see, what else?
Well, let's hear the whole thing.
Let's hear the whole thing. Well, I just screwed it up. Let me load it in. How's that?
When will this be ready for the market?
Audio Master is shipping right now.
It is?
Yeah. In fact, dealers here at the show have it in stock.
And what's the cost?
$99.95. And there is an upgrade path. I believe it's $39.95. I'm not sure of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this. If you notice right down here, it'll keep track of the number of loops, the number we're currently in.
Now, if I want to continue on without looping anymore, what do I do?
It's going to go. Just 1 second. It's got 4 repeats. Almost every song has 4 repeats at the beginning. This sample took about half an hour to make.
Okay, if I walk into a dealer's store, why would I want to buy this?
Well, if you are into the quote-unquote new music scene, you'd have things, you know, songs that people want to make their own mixes of. Maybe you want to make a custom tape of your favorite songs. Well, you can now go back in and mix them however you want. For a video company, you know, they could take a background loop and edit it so that it's just repeating over and over and doing little variations, use it as background music. You know, basically, the capabilities of Audio Master are just fun. You know, people don't need a reason to use it.
So this is not necessarily a make music program as much as editing your own stuff.
Right. No, it's not a make music at all, really, unless you count remixing, you know, which you could do, grab a variety of different music and remix it all, which is what I think this one is. This is taking just one drum beat out of an album and making it into a whole little drum solo, you know. So there's all sorts of things that you could do with Audio Master, including some of the other toys like real-time echo and real-time flange, which flange, if you remember in like the 70s movies, you know, is where the sound goes wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's what real-time flange will do for you. And gee, that's disconcerting. Real-time echo can put you right in a concert hall. It's really cool. We don't have a sampler hooked up to this, or I'd show you. You can flip samples backwards, tune it, and change the speed. If we turn on display, we're only going to get one. Let's see. Play the waveform. We can go in and tune the waveform. And adjust it to anything we want. One of the really neat things I noticed wandering across the menu, I'll remind you, is strip dead space, which means after you go through your huge sample and mark all of your loops, you want to get rid of everything that you aren't using. And rather than having to go through and delete it manually, you just say strip dead space. And it removes anything that is not occupying a loop. And that makes it just so easy to use. Also, if you wanted to copy arrange, if I made one like this, and I wanted to put it at the end of the song also, all I would have to do is hit F1, it's not doing it right now, F1 to mark the beginning, F2 to mark the end, F4 to copy it, F10 to go to the last loop, and F5 to paste. It's all just right in the function keys.
With the holidays rapidly upon us, I'm sure many of you Amiga Knights are in desperate search for gifts for the kids. Well, I suggest you consider this game right here from Disney Software. It's Disney's DuckTales, The Quest for Gold, and it's based on the characters from the animated children's television series DuckTales, with Scrooge McDuck, the wizened old moneybags, and the ever-mischievous Junior Woodchucks globe-trotting around the world in search of the world's lost treasures. This is an interesting blend of adventure gaming skills and financial savvy. Game opens with the dastardly Flintheart Glomgold, the world's second richest duck, challenging Scrooge to a 30-day contest to see who could find the most treasure and thus appear on the cover of Dime magazine as Duck of the Year. There are 3 ways in which to search for treasure from Scrooge's office. Let's go to the money bin. We can take a dive in Scrooge's money bin in the hopes of turning up some rare coin. But chances are we'll just experience a pleasant swim in the gold. Yes, no money this time, and as Fenton Crackshell, our investment advisor, reminds us, time is money, and we better get cracking. Also from Scrooge's office, we can choose to go to the control center. By going to the control center, we can find the locations of the world's treasures. But before we can see Scrooge's map of the world, we have to crack the code. Now this is a special security system designed to protect the control center from Glomgold's henchmen, the Beagle Boys. But don't worry, I have the special code sheet. Now aside from protecting this control center from the Beagle Boys, this code sheet acts as sort of an interesting way of manual protection. Once I'm in, the map tells me not only where the treasures are, but also some important facts about them. See? It tells me what kind of treasure it is, it tells me how much it's worth, and it tells me how long it's going to take for me to get there. Once I've chosen my destination, I'm going to fly to get there. The flight is full of perils, and we must ever be on the lookout for those dastardly Beagle Boys who are out to stop us. There they are.
Uh-oh.
Whoa! Now you see, the plane is made out of flubber, and it will take quite a beating.
Uh-oh.
But it will crash. In which case, our advisors, Gyro Gearloose and Fenton, will come to us and tell us how much money we have left and how many days we've lost. Now the adventure really begins. We're either searching through the grottos of a cave for stashed loot, steering clear of pitfalls, oops, or being chased by a mummy. Oh boy. Looks like I didn't find this one. Or we'll find ourselves on some safari taking pictures of rare animals in hopes to sell them to the Duckburg Museum for a high profit. Or maybe we'll find ourselves climbing some treacherous cliffs, dodging bears and falling rocks. Or maybe we'll find ourselves negotiating our way through a thick rainforest with monkeys that throw coconuts and very, very hungry boas. Our trusty Junior Woodchuck Guide has hints and helpful information that'll help us through all these adventures. Once we have some money, we can either drop it off for safekeeping at the Scales of Macaroon, or we can go back to the office and invest our money. If we have been paying attention to the investment news reports about the occurrences on the market, we may be able to make educated choices as how to invest our money on the Fowl Street stock market. Also, the Junior Woodchuck Guide informs us as to the type of stock that we're considering. Now, these charts in here tell us that if we have a Type A stock and we buy it at this low price on day 10, we can sell it for a much higher price on day 20. Thus, our found treasure earns even more money than if we just saved it. Now, these charts are a good way to predict how the market will work for you. But Flint-Hart Glomgold works some shady deals on the market, and you had better pay attention to the business news, or you're going to lose big time. On day 30 of the contest, we are transported automatically to the scales of Macaroon to see who will be the Dime Magazine Duck of the Year. Disney's DuckTales, The Quest for Gold, has a wide variety of environments and contains some thought-provoking and often educational lessons about investments and money management. At $45, with 3 difficulty levels, DuckTales, The Quest for Gold is a wonderful gift. Are you listening, Laura?
You need Flicker Fixer by Microway, the professional video graphics enhancer that employs interlacing and fits into the Amiga video slot. It removes the flicker in the interlace mode and the visible scan lines in the non-interlace mode of the Amiga 2000 and 2500 displays. Flicker Fixer is fully compatible with and transparent to all user software. It does not modify the standard Amiga video signals and may be used simultaneously with the RGB output. For superior quality color or monochrome graphics and text, you need Flicker Fixer by Microway. Plunge further into the depths of the Dragon's Lair. Match wits with the evil shapeshifter and all new challenges created especially for escape. Muster all your skills and cunning to free Daphne in the brilliant final battle. One of Amiga World's top 10 games of the year, also rated Best Sound and Best Graphics by Amiga Games Guide. Dragon's Lair, Escape from Singe's Castle, is available from Bethesda Softworks at a special price of $44.95. Call 800-677-0700 and order today. That's 800-677-0700.
Beasley, you're not supposed to be here until, oh, I see. You didn't keep check on your blood pressure. Beasley, I'm surprised. You were smart enough to know that high blood pressure could lead to a stroke or a heart attack?
High blood pressure can be controlled. The American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
It seems the business world is more and more dependent on fax machines. Send it now. We want it now. In response to this demand, Applied Engineering has put up a new piece of hardware, a send fax. Let's take a look at this.
What we have is the SendFax software for the Amiga, and what it allows you to do is send faxes directly from your computer to any Group 3 fax machine, and that's almost all the fax machines that there are right now are Group 3s. You can take any text or graphic document, and instead of sending it to your printer, you're sending it to someone else's fax machine. We'll have a hotkey sequence which will let you tell it which key you want to use to decide if you're sending to your printer or to a fax machine. All you have to do is, once you're in your document, whether it be word processing or graphics, is select the print command from the document. You'll have the standard print dialog of that program. And here you see we're printing to the AE fax printer. Okay. Tell it OK, and you'll get our AE send fax dialog box, which includes your phone book with as many entries as you want. I believe there's a limit of 100 entries, and you can have up to 50 distribution lists. The distribution list lets you send to a multiple of people that you choose. If you click on distribution, add it to your destination list, it automatically pops in those names along with whatever information you define for that entry. Okay? You can define if you want a person to be tone, pulse, or manual dial, and it will keep that in memory, or you can change it at any time from this dialog box. You can also select the time that you want to send it. So save money on your phone bills by sending it after 11 p.m. when the rates go down. All you have to do is type in the time, and it will store it for you, keep it queued, and send it out when its time arrives. Now, when we're ready to send, let me send it to our machine we have set up here. You just add it to your destination list and send it. You get your printing in progress standard dialog box, and from this point, you're free to go back to whatever programs you were using. And it's processing completely in the background. Once it's compiled the fax, it's going to send it to your modem from its fax file. It translates it into a bitmap version. You'll see the modem call up the fax machine, and then the fax machine will pick up and receive the fax at 4800 baud. Now the modems that support our SendFax software are the Datalink Express and the Datalink 2400 internal. They both can include MMP5, which is data compression and error correction. So you get an overall effective rate of 4800 BPS data transfer. They work as standard data modems at 2400 baud and as SendFax at 4800 baud. Now you'll see that the modem's dialing up the number that we've given it earlier. Fax machine rings, and then the document's received. This works just as well in graphics or text, and any application that supports print will support our software.
About how much does this cost right now?
Right now, the retail on the external with MMP5 and SendFax, I believe, is $369, and the internal is $249. I believe those are correct. And that's retail.
And the planned shipping date?
The planned shipping date for the SendFax software is November 1st.
Okay, now this is strictly SendFax. It doesn't receive anything.
Correct.
Are there any plans in the works to enable it to receive?
Yes, we're definitely looking at doing a receive fax version, and that'll probably be the first of next year when we're working on that.
Now, if I buy the SendFax and I want to upgrade it to a receive fax or something like that, how do I go about doing that without buying an entirely new machine?
Applied Engineering has always had a very good upgrade policy, and what that will probably involve, I'm speaking on speculation now, is sending in your modem and along with whatever the price difference is, and then we send you the new hardware. It will involve new chips that do both send and receive, and the new software. We'll send that back out to you. So we've always had good upgrade policies, and we'll probably continue that.
Okay, thank you very much.
A product sample that could be arranged as well, but a tutorial sounds like it's almost more to the point for you. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Here at the AMI Expo, we also have some crossover companies. They've been with other computer companies, and now they're with Amiga. Joel, tell us about Pelican Press.
We've put out Pelican Press about 3 years ago on the Apple and IBM. We decided to go head-to-head with PrintShop, and currently our Apple version of this product outsells PrintShop in the schools. Recently, we decided to move over to the Amiga.
What attracted you to the Amiga?
Well, my programmers have been telling me that they want to work on the Amiga, and my artists have been yelling at me to let them work on the Amiga. So I've been waiting a couple of years, so we finally decided to move on to the Amiga now. Also, Commodore has really proved to us that there's a real advertising commitment in both the home and the school for the new machine, so we decided it was time to get into it.
So what niche are you filling with your product?
Well, there never was a print shop type of product for the Amiga, and we've also decided to go with everything in the Amiga market for most people seems to be incredibly high-tech and incredibly complicated, and it rotates and it flips and it swirls and it does all the rest of the stuff. And we decided to come out with something that's going to let people print, publish in 2 seconds. You won't even have to use the documentation. You're going to be able to get phenomenal results from things that are 3 inches tall to 56 feet tall.
I understand that you have 2 versions of this program out right now?
That's right. Yeah, we have what we call the retail version and the school version, or the home version. The difference basically is the school version, aside from having school graphics, has less ugly things. Like I explained yesterday, like in the home version, we have bullets and monsters that really look like bullets and monsters. And in the school version, the bullets come across the screen. They have these big, cute eyeballs with blue eyeshadow, and they're a lot less intensive. And all the monsters, we've removed their fangs, and we put corks on the end of their ray guns.
So this educational one is a little less threatening.
Yes, it's a little less threatening. We call it our East and West Coast graphics and our middle of the country graphics. So.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
Okay, great. Basically, when you get into the program, you can go in and do signs, banners, cards, or whatever. I'll start off with posters, because that's kind of the fun thing. And all I'm doing, basically, is going to make real simple selections. Just going to pick open graphic. And you get your little snoozes on the screen here. Have to get a turbo accelerator here. Okay, so you get a choice of your backgrounds. I'm going to pick the keep, let's just pick the keep out background, and we'll load that right up. So what it's going to do right now is the program comes with about 200 graphics, as well as all the things. You can now place the graphic anywhere you want. You could even make a poster down into something small, but we'll leave it just set up where it's at. What you can do now is you're going to be able to decorate your screen. You can color it, you can repaint it, you can draw on it, you can do whatever you want. I wish my art director was here this morning. She does a much better job than I do. So what you've got here now is you've got a multiple screen scrolling graphic that later on we can show you how it prints out on the background. And I can go in now and decorate this with clip art, text, or anything else I feel like. So I'm just going to go in here and open up the clip art section. Pick open on the clip art.
Do you have a mock-up of the box, what it's going to look like on the shelf?
No, but the back of this is the back of the box.
Okay.
So that's basically what it's going to look like on the back. Okay, let's just go down here and scroll through some categories here. Small, fun? Nah, why didn't I pick that? Pick fun stuff, one. Open. Well, small, cute. Yeah, we're known as the cute company in the industry. What we've done to make it easy for people also is the clip art is now going to be scrollable just using the space bar. So you don't have to go up. So if you've got this clip art, all I'm going to do right now is press the space bar to cycle through the art. If you miss one and you want to go back, you just press B. So now I can give Dracula, I just make him a little less offensive to folks, and I'll just give him a little butterfly earring over there. You can flip it horizontally. You can flip and rotate any of the graphics. And once again, if I just want to get another graphic, I just press the space bar. So let's move down here. I'm just going to pick another category of clip art to show you some of the stuff that we do. We designed the clip art with, well, we're trying to make it so that people can do funny things with the program. You'll see we have some like things you can add to the graphic to enhance it. Small graphics, large graphics. Let's pick small fun, and I'll give you an idea of how you can customize this to make it a little more interesting. So I'm just scrolling. I can make him an unhappy ghost just by stamping a couple of tears on there. You know, I can make him a musical ghost. I can stick a couple of rockets here. All you have to do is go right over here and get the remover. And the clip art is always live. Click back into clip art, which is what I'm doing right over here, and you're live. So I can just use a hat for some kind of special eyebrows. Flip it around. Stick a little arrow on this side of his head and coming out on that side of his head. If I wanted to go in, all I do is pick the paint program, which is always live, pick a color, and give him, I've had too many margaritas for dinner, eyes. Okay. Excuse me. When I want to do text, you just click on the text box, and now you're live. Pelican, whoops, and no spell checker. Excuse me.
Those margaritas, I'll tell you.
Do it every time. So the type is always live. I can go down here and just click on a different color, overlay it in another color if I'd like. Move it around. I want to stand up. We added a feature here. It works in 512 or 1 meg. If you begin to run out of memory, this stoplight here will turn from green to yellow to red. Then what you can do is you can go up here and freeze the entire background. So now this clip art has become part of it. So now you could go back in and continue to do things. You can even use parts of the background that we have here. You can go into this copy mode here as an example. Copy this guy's eyeballs out and just use them over here. So even within the program, you have a lot of use. Oh, that's my favorite little nose. Give him a different nose. Let's put a little nose over here on this guy and give him some lips. So you basically can change the way the posters look and work. So you can do the same thing with signs or anything else you want to work with. And the results are back here. This is the keep out graphic we were working on, which is printed out in its miniature form. And then you can print it out as large as you want. We go up, I believe we go up to 56 feet tall, which is what we call the ribbon sucking size. And you have to use like 3 cases of ribbons. It works on any printer supported in the preferences. This is a PaintJet printout right over here. And that's basically it.
This is your first Amy Expo, right?
This is our first Amy Expo, and we're pleased. The attendance was good. The people were really interested, and this reminds me of, you should pardon the expression, what Apple was like when it first started out. The people are really excited to see a new product. They're, they're not jaded, and they're interested. And overall, it's a really friendly group.
Well, when can we expect to see this on the market?
We're hoping to ship it within the first 2 weeks in November. The box is being printed now. We're trying to write the docs up so that a regular human being can understand them.
Yes. And the price?
The price is going to be $99.95, which includes about 200 pieces of art, the painting program, and the ability to do banners, signs, greeting cards, etc.
Thank you very much, Joel.
Thank you.
All right. A few weeks ago, I read in the New York Times that drawing with a mouse is similar to drawing with a bar of soap. Now, to tackle that problem, Dakota Corporation has come out with a new product, and John Savage is going to tell us all about it. Go ahead, John.
What we have here is a graphics tablet that is an electromagnetic tablet that addresses the problem of trying to be able to trace and draw with a mouse, which you simply cannot do. What we have here is an electromagnetic tablet that has a field here, and you can actually put a half an inch thick of pages if you wanted to trace, and you could also create freehand drawing. And what I'll do here is go through and show you how the software is set up, and we'll go into a software package, show you how it works. I've already put in our driver, and we're going to be using the stylus today. Click on the style, click on, and tablet's active. Now what's nice about this as well is that the mouse is still active. When the tablet's activated, you can still use the mouse at the same time.
What port are we in?
Serial port. Tablet works well in any resolution mode, and the software works with any mouse-driven software on the Amiga. The way that the stylus works is the left mouse button is a tip switch on the bottom of the pen, so you press down lightly and that activates the left mouse button. The right mouse button is the black switch on the barrel, and you can go up and activate whatever you need to do there. And again, now what's nice for freehand drawing, obviously, and I'm not a very good artist, but you can see already it's a lot more intuitive than you ever could with the mouse. The tablet works in what's called an absolute mode here. So wherever you are on the tablet, you're going to end up on the screen. So left corner of the tablet, you're on the left corner of the screen, right corner, and so forth. So it's not like you have to drag over like you would with a mouse normally. I'll give you a demo as far as tracing. This is something that just cannot be done with a mouse. Going quickly here, give you a rough idea.
Now, there have been other draw boards out on the market. What makes yours so very different?
Several things. First of all is the price. We have the best price on the market right now for a 12 by 12. The list price on this is $449. It comes with the stylus and the cursor. Another big feature is it doesn't require a power supply. It plugs directly into the serial port, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about turning the tablet off at night and that sort of thing, and they worry later on that the power supply is going to go bad. Whereas this, we plug it in and you're ready to go. It also has a 5-year warranty with it. And we also have, which is exclusive to us, is a clear overlay. So you can fasten templates down inside. If you want to fasten a sheet of paper nice and neat, you don't have to worry about taping it down and keeping it secure. We include Windows and mouse drivers, and we have a 9 to 25 pin adapter, depending on what type of serial port you have.
How long have you been in the Amiga market?
Since July. We've been selling tablets for PCs now for about 3 years. We carry the 12 by 12 through 42 by 60 size tablets. We saw our niche in the Amiga market. It wasn't being done well, and we're going ahead and marketing aggressively, and we feel we have an excellent product in comparison to the competition right now on it. This isn't a pressure-sensitive tablet here, which is nice. As, actually, like I told you before, you don't actually have to have the pen touching the surface of the tablet. You go to half an inch, so you can trace through several pages. It's very, very free, and as close as you can to drawing with the pencil, which artists are used to doing. You're able to accomplish that with this product.
So all you artists who are reluctant to use the mouse, here's something you might want to check out. Does your users group feel like it's lost in limbo? No one to talk to, no one to share your questions and answers with? Well, we at AVM offer a solution. Users groups in focus. In this new segment of the show, we'll be highlighting users groups across the country, around the world, anywhere we can find a users group. Now, if you would like to participate in Users Group in Focus, just send us a copy of your official newsletter and any other important, interesting things that you might be doing with your users group. Just let us know. Participate, just send a copy of your official newsletter and any highlights and points of interest to Amiga Magazine, Users Groups in Focus, 200 West 72nd Street, Suite 53, New York, New York, 10023. All right, who turned around? Oxy has a new product out. We're now talking with Dave Hopkins, who's going to talk to us about Video Titler 3D.
Yeah, well, okay. Video Titler is a major new upgrade to the Video Titler family. It was originally going to be release 1.5, a minor enhancement, and we got to working on it, and it just got so many new toys that we decided, what the hey, it's a new product. What we have basically is the first titling package that actually allows you to rotate in full 3 dimensions your text and get an extrusion effect to it that you can adjust how deep it is and how it's generated. And it's really nice, really nice.
Let's take a look at it.
What we have here is the new Titler interface, which is a nice little palette bar that you can move wherever you like. You have Amiga text and polytext functions. First thing we want to do is load in a polyfont. The polyfonts are a font definition created by Sparta for Aegis Oxy, which allows fonts to be manipulated as far as stretching and twisting and all this kind of good stuff. We have brand new fonts that we'll be shipping with Titler 3D, which are outline fonts now. Much nicer type styles than before. After we load in the font, we click polytext to start rendering and get this little block. Now this is where we can start typing. And so we have our text appearing here. The, whoops. Oh, it was close.
Back to school for that one.
The new fonts take a little longer to draw because they are actually defined as Bezier curves. So that's why it's taking a little longer than normal. There we go. Okay, now what we can do is stretch out our text to whatever size we'd like, save render, and it'll slap it back down here for us. Okay. Now, along the outside edge of the frame, we have 3 new selectors, which are 3D movement selectors. And we can move into the background and foreground with this guy. This one will let us rotate in a clock-like rotation. And this one will lean it forward or back. And all we have to do is set it and save render, and it's done. Now, another new feature that is in Video Titler is the new shadowing. What we have here is the shadow extrude window, which is currently off. By pulling this down and selecting 3D, we now will get an extruded, solid piece of text. We'll go ahead and render it at about a depth of, say, 10, number of tweens, 4, we'll say, and render it now. this will take just a moment. The Video Titler 3D has been basically totally reworked, and the interface is a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. We have animation, a lot of really nice effects, and you can make your own effects, which is another nice thing. I used to work in video, and we used all the titling packages, and so as we developed this, I had a lot of input, and I got pretty much a titling package that I would want to use.
How much does this run?
I believe Titler is $149. I can't swear to that.
Did you see it? I saw it. Some friends of mine saw it. They told me about it. They're not even in the Amiga community, and they like it. I like it. What am I talking about? It's the new advertising campaign that Commodore's doing on the Amiga. It's in many of the major magazines, and they're also doing a personal mail-out to the general public all across the country. This is a good sign. We at AVM hope this continues through 1991. 91. Well, it's a new year. Wow. We have some interesting projects in development for you in 1991. For example, we're working on a new in-depth look at the toaster and a special report on the ADA's plans and accomplishments after 1 year in existence. CDTV, myth or reality. We have a comparison report on 3D rendering and animation products. Whatever happened to those lost Amiga 1000s? We also plan to cover the upcoming AMI Expos. Excuse me, that's Amiga World Expos. And of course, the World of Amiga shows. So you can see 91 is going to be a big year for AVM. And we at AVM would like to take time out right now to thank you, all our viewers, our subscribers, our advertisers, all our supporters. In 1 year, we have made the Amiga a star in its own television show. We have let the public see the animations and hear the music, actually witness all of Amiga's possibilities. We've produced this show all about the Amiga, and we produced it on the Amiga itself. We brought you the new products, the upcoming products, and the established products, plus people, the programmers, the developers, the users, and the reports right from the president of Commodore himself. We brought this to you right into your living room. In fact, 5 million living rooms across the world. AVM has accomplished with the Amiga a dream. We put the Amiga where it belongs, in its video and multimedia place, and we are showing it off to the world. In 1991, AVM will continue to do so, and we'd like to hear your suggestions as how we could improve our show. So, until next year, have a happy holiday, and let's stay away from that guru, huh?
As a part of this exhibit, they're using the Amiga. And integral to the use of that... We're inside this sleepyhead exhibit, and Dean's about to tell us... No. We're here in... There!
What's been happening at Commodore? The most noticeable recent activity at Commodore seems to be the departure of 4 major executives from the Commodore ranks. The exiting executive... That's all right, we can do this. The nation's largest distributor of professional video products. What is the matter with me today?
Hi, and welcome to sunny California, where the AMI Expo on the West Coast has been a pretty exciting AMI Expo on the West Coast has been a very exciting event. The AMI Expo on the West Coast has been a very exciting event. We've had new products shown to us, like Imagine, the Director 2, Colors. Yeah.
And we'll be seeing you next time with more. I goofed a couple times. Aegis Animagic offers a range of special effects, including... What was that?
Just use delete. D-E-L-T-E. Chuck. Use the directory command. God, am I good? I gotta do this again. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay. All right. Hi. Remember last week? We, okay. Hi. Remember last week? We explored the directory command, dir. Well, why don't we get this, what? And press return. Now we have 5 different directories, and it explains to us.
I don't believe it.
Stop.
So, let me just explain to you an offer. Wall people and wall-to-wall exhibits. Where are we?
We're at the Marriott. Marriott Regis? No.
Nope, we're at the Marriott Marquis. Okay, let's do it again. Where are we?
We're at the Marquis Marriott in New York City.
Well, that's close. We're at the Marriott Marquis, just off Broadway. Wall-to-wall exhibits. Where are we?
We're in New York City at the Marriott Regis Hotel.
How about the Marriott Marquis? He's got lost again.